Hey, great job. I'm so glad that you opted in to learn how to set real, meaningful, and attainable goals that you can follow through with. I'm Dr. Russ Rosen, and I help natural healthcare providers just like you build true, optimal health and wellness practices within 6 months so you can fill your schedule to complete capacity with your ideal patients without any sleazy sales tactics, tons of marketing, or high pressure gimmicks. Now, I don't know about you, but I have a love-hate relationship with setting goals. I've been setting them since I was a very, very young boy. And I got to be honest with you, I have failed more than I've succeeded. And I know when I talk to doctors about setting goals, most of us hate them. Most of us have tried and we failed, and we've tried and we failed, and we said, you know what, I'm not doing it anymore. And look, we've all heard what do the top 3% of the most successful people in the world have in common? They write their goals. Without writing our goals, we're like a rudderless ship. We just go from one shiny object to the next shiny object, and we never have the practice or the life of our dreams. But again, so many of us have tried and we've failed. So we've just quit. But I promise you, if you follow this process that I'm about to show you right now, you too can set real, meaningful, and attainable goals, and you can create the life and practice of your dreams. So take a look at the document below, and you're going to see these 6 steps. First thing I want you to do is click on what are your goals for the year. And what you're going to see is we've got these specific metrics for your practice. Where am I now? And where do I want to be? We then have things that I know I probably need to improve upon in my practice, as well as my life, my personal life, and then what would be my plan of action. Now, what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to start writing in it right now. Please, that's the biggest mistake you can make. What we need to do is look at some other key factors of how to set real, meaningful, and attainable goals. But eventually, you're going to go ahead and fill that out. Now, if you skim that through and you recognize, well, I know exactly where I'm at, I know where I want to get to, I know the things I need to do, by all means, you can start to write some of those down. But for most of us, we're going to need to dig a little bit deeper because they're going to be real and meaningful, meaning I know where I want to get to, and this is the path to get me there. This roadmap will actually get me there. So if you look at the 3 pillars and 5 systems document, that is a 120 question questionnaire. Now, do you have to spend hours filling it out? No, but you could skim that through in just a few minutes and make a couple of notes to yourself as to, wow, this is something we need to improve upon, right? I want to double my patient visits. I want to increase my retention. I want to increase my dollars. These are things I'm going to need to do. Okay, so we dive very, very deep into all kinds of every aspect of your practice. Now, the next one is called Create the Perfect Life Program. And there's a couple of pieces to that program. The first piece will take maybe 10 minutes out of your life. And it's really taking a look at your schedule to make sure that you have very specific times, not only to work in your business, but to work on your business. So you're going to start coming up with these goals, and then you're going to need time to work on achieving these goals. But so often doctors work in their practice and they never get around to doing the things they need to do because they don't schedule time to work on their practice. So we want to be clear that you have enough time to get everything done. Time to sleep. Yes, time to sleep. Family time, chore time, meditation time, exercise time, date nights, work on your business. So oftentimes I'll have doctors do this. They'll send me their schedule and they'll say, I just feel like you never have enough time to get everything done. And they're not procrastinators. And then once they do this, they recognize, wow, I have like 8 or 10 hours a week of more things to do than I actually have time for. So you've got to make changes. So this is a really wonderful exercise. Maybe it'll take 10 or 15 minutes out of your life. Now, for those of you who want to dive even deeper, you're going to see we have 4 other programs in there. You don't need to do these. You're welcome to do them if they'll help you clarify what you need to be working on. One of them is just describing a perfect day. Really wonderful thing to do. Another one is a document that will help you get balance in your life. So many of us don't have balance in our life. There's another program which is a really wonderful short process you can go through. It'll show you 100 things that you can do just to clean up your life. And you can just skim it through and say, ooh, that would be good, this would be good, this would be good. And then there's a personal foundation program. That program is a several month to year program, looks at 10 key areas in your life. And it can really help you clean up your life and create the life that you want. Okay, and the last one is how to set meaningful quarterly objectives and follow through. So here's the deal. At the beginning, a lot of offices just start off with what will we accomplish between this week and next week? And then maybe 2 weeks. But eventually, I'd like to be able to set a year and then break them into quarterly objectives. So what I've done is I've come up with this document, which is a wonderful overview. And then we dive into detail of how I would set this up for a 90-day plan. The first thing we do is get very clear about what the objectives are. And they're either projects, change the carpet, paint the walls, get a new computer system, or they're KPIs. So they're key performance indicators. I want to increase my number of new patients, or my referrals, or my sign-up rate, or my dollars, or my patient visits, et cetera. And then you figure out how you're going to get there. Now, the second thing we do is we ask each person on our team, what will you do to make that happen? So let's assume we're going to work on internal referrals. So we would say the business is going to get this many internal referrals during this period of time. You, Mary, at the front desk, what will you do to make that happen? Right? Joe, what will you do? As a doctor, what will I do? So each person knows what the objective is for the business, and then each person knows what we will do to make those happen. And then the next piece is the regular follow-up meetings. If we don't do the regular follow-up meetings, we set our objectives, and 90 days later, we take a look and nothing was done. So I promise you, if you go through this process, this may take an hour, maybe an hour and a half out of you and your team's lives. You can dramatically change your practice. Again, remember, what do the top 3% of the most successful people have in common? They write their goals. They follow through with their goals. Don't be a rudderless ship. Don't be that person who tries and fails and quits. Use this process and you'll be amazed at what happens. Now, I just want to give you some context for the content we just gave you. When we help people grow their practice, we look at 3 phases: personal headspace, practice mastery, and going and growing. Personal headspace, well, it's between the ears, the importance of certainty, personal growth, making sure you're ready to grow your practice, and you can recognize, find, and fix your contradictions. We then move into the practice mastery phase. We make sure we install an operating system, and this is one small piece of installing an operating system, just like you would install an operating system into your computer. We then look at how to build a dream team and maintain a dream team, make sure we know how to communicate with our patients so they happily stay, pay, and refer for a lifetime. Then we move into the growing phase, which is how to bring in ideal new patients, handle the flow and handle the growth, and then eventually go completely waitlist. So you can see that in the operating system, that's where this part about setting goals sits. So again, I don't want this to be a big project that you end up putting off and not doing. I want you to sit down right now. Just click on these links. What are your goals for the year? Look it through. Do I need to dive deeper in the 3 pillars and 5 systems or create the perfect life? If so, do. If not, go ahead and look at the goal setting article, take a look at the goal setting template, and then go ahead and go through how to set meaningful objectives. Then go back to what are your goals for the year, write them down, come up with your game plan. What you're going to see is that it's going to help you finally start to get the missing pieces of the puzzle of how to set real, meaningful, and attainable goals. As you do that, you're going to recognize, wow, this is pretty cool stuff. And you're going to want to get on Zoom with me and clarify where you're at, where you want to get to, and how we might be able to help you get there. As always, much love and aloha.